2, and we're live. Sherry, welcome to the Nurse Mark and the Green Nurse Daily Dose of AFA.
Where we bring you hope and inspiration for growth and healing so you can start your day off the AFA way. And in case you've forgotten, I have an amazing co-host that wrote a book all about it.
You can't forget. You're absolutely amazing. Yes. Exactly as you are. Now that's the key, Sherry. Exactly as you are takes all the pressure off. You don't have to live up to anybody's expectations. You don't have to get any more degrees. You don't have to do anything other than just be the amazing you that you are.
And that's it. Hope, inspiration, growth, and healing. We are here to decrease stigma around what it means to feel good and be high. Hence that H for hope and I for inspiration and G for growth and H for healing. And that leads right into like the book. Right? How cool you wrote this book, not only for the world, but for yourself to remind you.
I did. Now, Sherry, here's the thing. I'm not saying that you can't go get a degree or that you can't go get a new job or that you can't do whatever it is that you want to do. All I'm saying is coming from a place of self-love and understanding how absolutely amazing you are, the choices become yours.
Yes.
Truly, not because of what somebody else thinks you should do, right?
Thank you. Yep.
That's how we live our lives based on what others think we should be doing or shouldn't be doing.
I can give you an example. I can give you a story.
Totally. I love your stories. You have to share them.
Well, it even has to do with like going far back when I was growing up and I decided I knew I wanted to be a nurse at 10 years old.
Oh, you're lucky.
And I was like, yeah, it's just crazy. But here's the thing that's interesting. Throughout that time period of growing up and to the point that I got to nursing school, my father was trying to convince me that I wanted to be a doctor. So isn't that interesting? My mother was like, oh, no, she already made a decision that she wants to be a nurse. My mother wanted to be a nurse. My dad's like, oh, you should be a doctor. It's more, prominent. It's more established.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, I look back now. I go, hey, Dad, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you gave me that advice and I didn't take it. I love you so much. But it's funny. He's, and now he's like, well, so if you're my nurse and you do home visits, when are you coming home to take care of me?
Yeah. Oh.
That's that whole thing about perception.
It is.
I am happy being a nurse. And if I had listened to those outside forces, I may have made a different choice and may not have been as happy.
Right. And here you are.
Here
amazing
we are.
Nurse Sherry, the green nurse herself.
And what's so cool is like how that's even evolved, how we've evolved in the space, as clinicians and businesses. I didn't start off as the green nurse. I started off as growing in health. And then growing in health evolved into the green nurse group. And the green nurse group evolved into the green nurse. And now we're the green nurses at Holistic Caring Network. How cool is that? Let's put that link up there.
Gotta love it. Keeps rolling right along.
Yes, it does. Well, this is the thing is it's just a nice place to bring people. We're creating this ecosystem that actually serves patients, providers, and nurses because we are coming together. We're there for the same reason, the same goal. We all have the same mission, the same vision, the same passion, and really providing vetted products and services so people can make the best choices. Nurses are the most trusted profession for 19 years
they are
by the Gallup poll. So what a great place for you all to come and hang out with us. Now, Mark, I'm going to tell you a quick question. The other reason why this is very important.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. So do you remember that video we did yesterday or we did on Saturday? It was you, me, Denise, and Michelle.
Yeah.
We did a quick 30-second, probably 45-second video. And you were describing, you had your coat on with the cannabis leaf, and you were describing how people will wait in line for anything. And then we ended that video like saying, about cannabis, decreasing stigma, hope, inspiration, growth, and healing. And we were chanting. Well, that video went up late at night on Saturday on TikTok,
Yeah.
that video got me banned.
Of course.
So that's the part. So I was literally, so within
Of
12
course it
hours,
did.
within 12
You
hours,
weren't smoking. You weren't doing anything illegal on the video. It was just a matter of opinion,
so
TikTok's opinion.
right? So it was really interesting. So that's another reason,
Yeah,
the censorship, it's basically I violated their community guidelines. Their community guidelines don't allow us to talk about
right.
cannabis.
No,
Same thing. And they saw a leaf on your jacket. I was like, what wasn't in that video? Nurse Mark in there. So it was great. It was just a great demonstration, a great I
all
would
it was a
experiment.
picture of a leaf, and
Yeah.
that's enough to get you banned from social media.
Again, twice,
Ridiculous.
second time being banned.
So ridiculous.
But
Yeah.
you know what? I kind of
Huh?
look at it as, okay,
Right.
now, let's see what happens again. I got saved all the
Yeah.
videos, put them
Oh,
in
yeah.
different order. I look at it as just an opportunity to continue to educate,
Yep.
and
Oh, yeah.
we're going to talk about that, our education, as to what we experienced on Saturday when we went to the Holyoke Cup.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah. But
It
for now,
was interesting. Yes,
we start our day off the AFA way,
we
and then
do.
gets into the daily love. So for the
Oh,
new viewers that are out there that are watching us for the first time, we do talk about the AFA way and what
we
that
do.
means. The
Yeah.
Worcester Protocol.
Ha! We got the Worcester Protocol. That's coming up.
That's
Yeah, we're
coming.
creating it as we speak, so get
Well, that's
ready.
it. It's manifesting, right?
Yeah,
Because you have created a protocol for health and
right.
wellness, and it incorporates multiple different
It
modalities. So
does. That's
that's
what's in the book. It absolutely is. Now,
yeah.
Sherry, you know what I really like is that I'm pixelated around the edges, like
Yo,
everything black. Like I'm not really here, but I am. Isn't that true of all of us though? We're
in
all
and out
just
of it.
energetic beings. We appear to be solid, but we're just spinning little atoms.
We are. And, some of us are in, different dimensions.
That's right.
So
Right.
what dimension are you in today?
Well, I always loved the phrase, "He was out of his mind."
There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, yeah. I hope to be out of my mind because my mind is what limits me. And
Well,
that's a
that's
perfect segue into today's daily love. You ready?
all right. Let's
This
do
comes
it.
from the Daily Word, and I always love this. This is another great place to get some inspiration. Today, it's called imagination. I'm out
Oh,
of my mind because I have imagination. You ready?
yeah.
I imagine and create wonderful blessings in my life. Throughout history, there have been many dreamers who have written inspirational novels and poetry, produced inventions that have benefited the world, and created magnificent works of art. The imagination that led those dreamers to create such works also lives in me. My capacity to imagine is boundless, giving me unlimited power to think, plan, envision, and learn. How I choose to use my imagination is up to me. It may be through words I speak or write to express myself. It may be through my hands as I plant and nurture a prolific garden of cannabis or prepare a delicious meal. It may be through my heart as I make a difference in the world by serving others. The important thing is to use my imagination in fulfilling ways. The possibilities are endless.
That is so cool.
Oh,
It's like, well, it's almost, you think about imagination. If you can think it, you can create it, right?
yeah.
Here's the
It
other,
always starts with the thought. It's
well, that's
where
it.
everything begins.
It's here I was, just remember
Yeah,
years ago, sitting in front of a pile of cannabis,
yeah,
looking at all this stuff saying, "Oh, I got to figure this out. If I can figure this out, you can call me the green nurse."
yeah, and there
Right?
you are.
That start. It started in here, you know?
Always starts with a thought.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
you
does.
have that imagination, that capacity to create in your head this new thing,
Yeah.
whatever it is, a new life, a new
A new
job, a new
a new
whatever.
business.
Imagination.
You think about this. This is a whole new business, the cannabis industry,
Yeah,
incorporating cannabinoid therapeutics into the traditional
mhm,
system. It's never been done before, right?
right.
Because we started off with the history of ancient times. It comes in
Mhm.
and then it comes out as easily it comes in because of reefer
Yeah,
madness. And now we're
yeah.
developing something completely new and different, which is just amazing because it
Mhm.
requires us to use our imagination. It requires us to shift and pivot,
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
out ways where we can utilize plant medicine, the wisdom of the plant, and incorporate that into
Yeah.
science, bringing
Listen,
research.
we're gonna talk about how important it was for us to be at this event on Saturday for
Yeah,
educational purposes.
yeah.
I'll tell you, I have a very dear friend who is not a cannabis-friendly person. Still stuck with stigma, still stuck with, and suffers from great anxiety, by the way, untreated, but, has this negative connotation about, cannabis and made the offhand comment the other day, "Well, yeah, people are using it now, but, let's see what happens in 5 years." I'm
There
like,
you
"Yeah,
go.
what's gonna happen in 5 years is that we realize even more solid in the healthcare community what a true medicine cannabis is, okay?" Because and I went into this whole thing where it's like, there were like 600 preparations of cannabis produced by pharmaceutical companies at the turn of the 20th century, okay? So it's been a medicine. Let's talk 10,000 years before that. It's
Right.
a medicine,
Yes.
but still stuck with the stigma in the stories of what somebody else has told him.
Well, there you go.
And it's
Absolutely.
okay. Love him
Well,
dearly. I'm here to help.
yeah. So the
Yeah.
imagination piece of it is just think of even with you creating
Yeah.
Nurse Mark, you created the AFA book, you created the Daily
Yeah.
Love, you know,
Imagination.
right? And so what
Yeah.
are we? We're dreamers, we're visionaries, we're mystic manifestors, we're storytellers because these stories that we share and
Right.
tell
Yep.
do serve a purpose to serve others, right?
Yeah.
So bring that hope and inspiration
Yeah.
to
No,
you.
I did share, when I do the recording and I toss it up on SoundCloud, I did share this morning, there are times when where I can't get to that imagination. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean? When I'm in that down cycle and, life is ebbs and flows and, when I'm in that down cycle, that's what goes away is my imagination. Like I can't
mm,
see anything about beyond what is happening in that particular moment in time from
yeah.
a negative filter. So
Yep.
once that's gone though, what reappears is that imagination, that capacity to imagine something being different in my life. Mm,
Yes. And that is one of the first things that cannabis brought me when I was able to
yeah.
pull out of the story. I
Mhm,
inhaled. I was, whoa, my girlfriend who was in her 70s, she was a retired nurse, brought cannabis to my house at the
mhm.
time when I was really sick and suffering. And when I inhaled, it truly just everything just melted. And all of a sudden I was out. I was in a different dimension looking at things and being like, scratching my head, going, what? Oh my God, I feel so different. And it's a feeling. It was grounded.
Yeah.
It wasn't my imagination. But in
Mhm.
that moment in time, cannabis sparked something in my brain. So I was able to
Yeah.
start thinking in a different way. It opened
Mhm.
up different areas so I could start to imagine again. And how powerful is that? When in just a moment in
Right.
time, we've even seen this with people with PTSD, how
Yep.
they're in PTSD, they inhale, it completely quiets things down, and they're back
Mhm.
into a world of peace,
Mhm.
you know? So here's another good way. This is just funny because it just
Yeah.
came up.
Yeah.
So, like, you think about this, how cannabinoids have different cannabinoid profiles,
Yep.
different terpenes, and it can kind of determine the effect you're gonna get, and so that's what we
Mhm.
call strains. So how I can get into my imagination when I've slipped out is just choose a different strain with a different name and look it up. Right? And that
Perfect.
choose a different strain, which which
Choose
totally it
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
does, like, that's about crafting your experience.
Yeah.
We got some honey, Mark, and I don't know where I put it, but, like, you think about
Super
the honey,
botanicals, baby.
Super Botanicals
Yeah.
honey. Oh, here's a
Yeah.
little thing. And so the Super Botanicals honey, they named the honey Happy,
Mhm.
Creative Energy.
Yeah.
So these names, and they put in specific, there's specific cannabinoids and terpenes and other adaptogenic herbs that helped to have your body go into a space where it is starting to connect the dots and can create that feeling. So symptom targeted formulas that I've never seen anything like this on the market. So Super Botanicals is great. We're actually going to have them on the show on Wednesday to introduce them and their products because they're new. And she has a great story. Moni Schiffler studied under Tammy Sweet, and Tammy Sweet is a very well-known, respected herbalist here in the Northeast. So that will be a really good interview. But anyways, let's get into, Motivational Monday,
Yeah,
Manifest
baby. Here
Monday.
we go.
What motivates us as cannabis nurses to do what we do? So
Mhm.
the National Council State Boards of Nursing put out guidelines, and the National Council State Boards of
Mhm.
Nursing is the nursing regulatory board that puts on the NCLEX exam that determines licensure for every nurse in each
Every
particular
single
state.
nurse has to
Yeah.
take that NCLEX. Yeah.
Yep. And so they came out with a call to action in this
Mhm.
64-page document that states
Yep.
that all nurses, nursing students, and advanced practice nurses must have 6 essential areas of clinical knowledge when it
Mm,
comes to cannabis as medicine. So we've
yes.
been covering these week by week, and we've been
Mhm.
pretty much covered, like, we love number 6, which is the nurse shall not judge the patient for the preferred
Oh,
of treatment.
well, that's because judgment's the thing that's associated with cannabis the most.
I know, exactly. So that's why we
Yeah.
cover it. However, Mark and I had an amazing weekend with all of the green nurses at the Holyoke Cannabis Cup. So we're going to discuss number 5. The National Council State Boards of Nursing, like I had said, put out
Mhm.
guidelines, 6 essential areas. And Mark, what's the 5th one?
The nurse shall be able to identify the safety considerations for patient use of cannabis.
There you go. Okay. So you
Mhm.
think about where we were at on Saturday.
Yeah.
We were at an adult use recreational festival, and we were the only medical
We were the
professionals.
only medical professionals. You're absolutely right. I can guarantee that. Although there could have been some medical professionals, incognito somewhere in the
Oh,
crowd, Sherry. As a matter
there
of
were.
fact, I think there were.
Yeah, and I got a story for that. But here's the thing, though,
Yeah.
and here's a very interesting story. So
Mhm.
the event was very well thought out. There was still a lot of stigma around the event. Massachusetts has been legal medically since
Yeah.
2012 and legal for adult use recreational
Mhm.
cannabis since 2016. So now we're starting to have these festivals. Some of them are a little bit more loosey-goosey than others. This one was pretty strict. And here's the part that was very interesting. There were police
Yeah, I
officers.
got searched.
Oh, yeah.
When I went and
Uh,
got my wristband as a vendor, I was searched. I've never been to other events, alcohol events or, the brew pub events or anything like that. I've never been searched at an event. At this event, because it was a cannabis event,
you get
I
searched.
was searched.
Yeah, that was interesting. And then
That was a little interesting.
yeah, it was and then here's the thing too, because cannabis is legal, they didn't want you bringing well, I can see maybe they didn't want you bringing your own cannabis in, but the
Mhm,
interesting piece of it is that there was different types of products that were sold at the event. It was a
mhm.
festival, they had vendors.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. The other thing with the policemen,
Mhm,
the EMTs, okay, they had policemen, they had security guards, they had EMTs, and they had a
mhm,
fireman.
mhm.
And basically, they were all in the specific section. And I walked
Yep.
over to them because here's the thing: if the town is hiring cops, EMTs, and firemen, I
Mhm.
wanted to know: do they know about the endocannabinoid system?
No.
Well, that's right. That's the experiment. It was an epic.
No. Healthcare professionals don't even know about the endocannabinoid system, Sherry.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
this well-kept secret.
Yeah, so it was very interesting, but it was interesting too. Some of the policemen were like,
Mhm.
"So you guys are cannabis nurses? What's a cannabis nurse? What do they
Yeah,
do?" And so,
right.
just we went through the process. We educated them on what we do. The
Yeah,
other thing I let them know too is I said, "Listen, you want nurses at your festival." And I
right.
gave the example of, Reliable Bud. There was a ton of different cannabis festivals that I've been
Mhm.
going to get to know grassroots and to really
Right.
incorporate
No
grassroots.
pun intended.
Yeah, this is it,
The
grassroots.
grassroots. Now,
Yeah.
Sherry, I thought it was kind of funny that, after we had a conversation with some of the police officers, one of them commented, "Well, I'll be connecting with you in 3 years when I retire so I can figure out how to use this." Like,
Right.
you know what?
Bro, you can
A little bit, that stigma's going away a little
a
bit.
little bit. Yeah.
People are interested, even people who have been tasked with, you know, with prosecuting others for cannabis use.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll tell you, having grown up with my dad was a career state trooper, I know that the police could use cannabis the most.
Oh, yeah.
Police and healthcare professionals, right?
Yep.
Because we're in stressful jobs.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
need
And,
it.
and Mark, interesting thing, you interviewed Marion McNabb from the
I
Cannabis
did.
Excellence.
Fabulous human being.
So
So much fun.
I know. So this was the part is that she showed up at the event. She came to our table
And I
and
missed her.
I know you missed her. Yeah, it was well
Mhm.
because it was a long day. So you were off doing something else, but anyway, so
Yep.
she was there, and we were talking to her, and she's working
Mhm.
with the university and a hospital, and they put together a health survey for medical
Mhm.
professionals when it comes to cannabis and cannabinoid therapeutics and whether they're using it now and what their thoughts are. So that's
Mhm.
going to be a really, really good survey to do. And she's going to present that research that she's doing at CanMed. So in the Green Nurse, in the post that we have there, it's
Yep.
a post from yesterday that I put up all about that. So any health professional, if you're doing anything in the
Mhm.
health and wellness space as a licensed health professional or a coach, fill that out because it'll be interesting to see from your perspective, about cannabis. And like I said, she's gonna present it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
back to the safety issue. So this is really
Yeah.
funny. So when I was educating them, I had asked the police, the EMTs, and the firemen if someone if someone was over consumed, would you know what to do? And you know what one of them said? Oh, we take him to the hospital. I'm like, wrong
Yeah.
answer. Right. So it really benefits them to know. And so even as nurses showing up at these events,
Mhm.
educating even the security, the EMTs and the firemen, so they can
Mhm.
know you don't need to send someone to the hospital unless it's absolutely essential and necessary if they're having a cardiac event. But having nurses there to be able to assess the situation, to ask them the questions, to see what they consumed, and to know what might be an appropriate response or what to do to help them to move out of that space of not feeling
Mhm.
good if they've overconsumed.
Right. Right.
So, yeah. Now,
Yeah.
here's the other funny thing. There's two other things we're going to talk about, which is just really
Okay.
funny. Okay, people waiting in line.
Oh my God. Sherry, I love human beings. I love social experiments. And Nurse Michelle was doing a few social experiments, and she was the first one who determined that people will stand in line for anything. And they don't even know what they're standing in line for. We saw it, what they're standing in line for. We saw it twice where
Two
people
big,
would line up for a particular booth because they thought something was happening, like product was being given away or something.
yeah. And so I was looking, so Michelle came, and so I decided to do this as well. I was like, okay, let's just see, let's just
Mhm.
ask. And the part that was interesting is yes, every single person that I talked to
Yeah.
didn't know what they were in line for, but thought
Oh,
it,
big long lines too.
we're talking long lines standing there. So here's the
Standing.
other social part of it that goes into my mind
Yeah.
about this community.
Mhm.
We're all about unity, right? And
Yeah.
standing in line together is a way to hang out,
Yeah.
right? A way to
Yeah.
talk about, because what drew us all together at that event? Cannabis, right?
Right.
And cannabis consumers like to talk about cannabis.
Right.
So it made sense that the herd moved from one table to the next. So what we did is Mark goes, I think we need to hire people.
Yes. So here's the tip. If you do events, if you do live events, these conferences, your best bet is to hire a few people to come and stand in front of your booth like they're in line. Other people like little ants will end up clinging on to this line until you've got this huge line and nobody knows why they're in it. And it's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay. When they get up to your booth and your table, you can tell them why they're in line.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one part of it, which is just interesting. And so then we go to here we are at a cannabis festival,
Yeah.
this big giant, all these vendors, a stage with
Mhm.
music, and they had a smoking section.
Yeah.
So
Like
I
and it's an outdoor event, and they have a smoking section where you need to go to smoke.
so they literally segregated off
Yeah,
with orange. I felt it was like police tape.
it was. It was cones. Yeah,
So there was a section, and it was I was like, "Are you kidding me? Oh my god!" It was so funny. And then but people respected it. They went
they
over.
did.
People were not assholes. They were,
No.
they weren't they respected the rules that were set up by the event. But our
Right,
whole point
right.
that's the good news. Cannabis consumers will follow the
Mhm.
rules. They may complain about them. They may make fun of them, but they follow the rules. And the event
Right,
was very, very peaceful. There were absolutely no issues with any violence or any roughhousing or any
right.
obnoxious people. It was a really, really chill
You mean like
event.
an event where alcohol's served, Sherry? You mean those events where there's violence? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely a link.
Yeah,
Yes.
there was none of that there.
Mm.
And then we need to do a big shout out because we had Ruben was
Oh,
there.
Ruben,
And what did Ruben? Ruben
my
brought us
friend.
this.
Love Ruben.
Look
Look
at
at
this.
that. Oh,
Paleolithic pipes.
yes.
He
A
brought
magnificent soapstone pipe, hand carved. Oh, beautiful.
I haven't smoked out of it
Right.
yet
Thank
because
God that doesn't have any smoke in it, or this would be banned right now on Facebook.
I know, right? It's a
Yeah.
hammer. That's all it is. It's a hammer.
It's a hammer. That's right. That's
You
right.
know what?
See, it's Paleolithic, right? So it's a tool that
Paleolithic.
was used for many different purposes. It could be
Exactly.
used as a straw, Sherry. Upside down,
Good.
stick it in the water. You could use
Yep.
it as a straw. Yeah,
Yep.
totally. See? Oh,
I
yeah.
can use it as a
Yeah.
hammer. I can use it as a judge palette. I mean,
Yes, that's right. Meeting adjourned. That was
absolutely.
really, really cool. So
Yeah, it was really
Paleolithic pipes, hand carved soapstone pipes, amazing. Ruben was
Ruben's game
there and had his stuff set up and
changer.
amazing, amazing product
Yeah,
line.
really good product line.
Yeah,
And then we
and a
wanna give
fabulous human being.
Ruben was just amazing. He's just
Yeah,
part of the group. He cares about patients. He has a
sure
great product
does.
line, and he custom formulates and puts patients first, which is
Mhm.
just really nice and such a gentle soul.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
to close it out, let's give a big thank you to the Holyoke Cannabis Cup, which you can't
Nope, can't
see
see it.
as
Nope,
it's
we can see oh, yeah, baby.
Ooh, isn't that wild? So there you go, the Holyoke
Love
Cannabis
it.
Cup. This is a koozie. And then they also gave a little grinder. And so Infused Productions actually put on the Holyoke Cannabis Cup. And
Mhm.
Infused Productions is a marketing company. And so they did a really, really nice job. And if
They
you got
did.
yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
they did it. They did a fabulous job. They
Yeah.
really did.
So overall success score.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So,
You get
a
to
lot of
talk to a lot of people, get to educate a lot of people.
yeah, a lot of
And
people.
so, Sherry,
What do you got going on this week? We got our show.
oh, we got a lot going on. We're shooting a commercial today.
Guys, go Google Amadeus. That's it. In big bold letters, Google Amadeus. Amadeus, Amadeus. Hey, Amadeus, this is for you. I can't wait to see you today.
Oh, we're shooting. Yeah.
He's a
You know,
filmmaker. So I'm
thank
not.
God we've got over our introversion, Sherry.
Oh, yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
I'm,
I'm
I'm
a
going to
little
bring
shy
my
behind
outgoing
the camera.
game today.
Yeah, so we're going
Yep.
to the farm and we're going to be in front of the ocean and the farm fields with the flowers and with the
Yep.
cannabis plants. And it's going to be
Yeah.
a really, really great day. We're
It's going to
bringing a
be,
couple of
and
persons
it's
on.
amazing. Yep.
We're
Yeah.
going to create a commercial. We hope it's going to wow you all,
Yeah.
bring y'all into the
So we
community.
got
And
that, and we
yeah,
got, we'll be here tomorrow morning at 8
yep,
a.m.
yep,
Wednesday night,
yes, yeah,
Super
super
Botanicals.
botanicals. Well, before
Yeah.
I want to get our ending video up. I'm going to
Oh
see if
boy. You gonna try something new, Sherry?
I'm going to try something new.
Oh, guys,
Okay.
gals, this is gonna
All
be
right.
fun.
Okay.
Should I
So
say goodbye now?
yeah, we'll say goodbye now, and we'll say so. Guys, remember what it's all about. It's about living
AFA.
your best life, helping others do the same, and staying AFA. Ready?
Ready
Set.
and go.
There we go, guys.
That was
Yeah,
it.
that was it. That's
I
gonna
was
be
waiting
our.
for some real monumental. That was really nice.
That
That
was just
that
an
that was a
intro and an
nice little
outro.
intro and outro. I like it.
So that's just the beginning. That's our simple one. But just you wait. Just you wait until we
Just
have this
you
new one.
wait.
You guys are gonna love it. All
Yeah.
right.
All
Have a
right,
great
guys.
day, y'all.
Use your imagination today. Go
Amen.
wild.
Mhm.
Okay? Be out of your mind because your mind's the problem. Okay? So be out of your mind today. Live that AFA day. Sherry, come on. You said it earlier. What's it all about, babe?
All about living your best life and helping others do the same. See
It
you guys tomorrow.
is. All right. Love you guys.